So Halloween's over, folks, and the only scares left are Blackburn Rovers' form as Swansea move into the top two this past weekend. But who's going to be the biggest winners this week? We'll take a little look at it as we get to Matchday number 10 next! With another prick show today, we take a look at match number 10 out of the Championship, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button, keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, World Football related. We got it all here, boys. That's right. So yes, Rovers shit right now. We can't even buy a win. Absolutely horrific back-to-back games for us. Looking for a win in the next Tony Mowbray derby up against Middlesbrough this week. We'll talk more about that in another video, and we'll talk more about it briefly in this video a little bit later on. I want to big shout out right here, right now to the patrons. That's right, you know who you are. The VIP exclusive gang behind the scenes, contributing to make me to kick the channel forward a little bit. I'm actually on the lookout for a couple more patrons, trying to get up the number to the magical number of 25. And in the past couple of days, we have seen some new guys coming in there. Miles Austin, of course, big shout out to Miles Austin, Shane O'Donnell as well, and Ahmed Sochi, the recent patrons to the club there. So I do appreciate that, you guys, and of course the hardcore members of the patron gang that have been there supporting the channel behind the scenes for a little bit now. But I do appreciate the support. If you are interested in becoming that latest member of the Patreon gang, get down in the area in the description down there, patreon.com/Roverseas. It's coming thick and fast, folks. Let's waste no more time and get into it. Take a look at how I got on last weekend. Of course, Rovers did shit. In fact, I did shit. In fact, this whole weekend was pretty shitty. Of course, it was just everything on for me, of my interests just went tits up, shit galore. But hopefully this weekend something new. Movember, of course, I'm going to shave the hair off in respect of the two new edition patrons, of course, this week. It's going to happen. It's probably going to happen today, which is Sunday. So the next time you see me, probably for the preview, maybe even not for the preview, but for the next games, you'll see a new look. Or a familiar old look. Not to 4, you're in the Straight Face gang. 5 to 9, you're in the Straight Face club. 10 plus. Don't even bother with that, folks. Don't even bother with that. So let's kick it all off then, shall we? With of course, my Pickaroonies. And then we'll take a look at you guys' action. All kicked off, of course, on Friday when it was Reading up against, or Coventry up against Reading, of course. 3-2 in the end. Goal scores on there. Gustavo Hamer on the score sheet. Lucas Jow gave Reading a bit of a shout there, sort of a mid-range equaliser there. Matt Godden, of course, Sam McCallum as well to give Coventry a 3-1 lead before George Pushkas come from the bench to give Reading a bit of a shout, but unfortunately they fell to a 3-2 loss. Coventry big winners there. Actually went with a 2-0 win. Myself for Reading. Shame on me. I actually had just terrible picks this week. Terrible picks. The only one I probably got right was one of these two here. Bristol City losers, of course, at home to Norwich, of course, who've kicking into top gear now. 3-1 in the end. Actually, with a 2-1 win myself. Timo Pukki with a couple of goals. Melvin Buenda as well on score sheet for Norwich. Jack Hunt, the one and goal for Bristol City as they start to crash back down to earth, and they've actually free-fallen out into the top, just into 10th spot now. They were flying high, of course, at the start of the season. Bournemouth against Derby. That ended up as a 2-0 win for. No, it didn't. That was my pick. I went with a 2-0 win for Bournemouth. I got the right amount of goals. I got 2 goals, but of course it was actually 1-1 in the end. Graham Shenny giving Derby the lead before late equaliser from Bournemouth. Rodrigo Welcome on the score sheet, giving his first goal, I think, for the club. Another surprise though, Barnsley against Watford. Wow. 1-0 winners for Barnsley. That's right. The one to go. Alex Mowat with a rocket, of course, 6 minutes on the clock to give them the 3 points. Actually, with the draw on this one, I did expect Barnsley to get something out of it, but I didn't think they'd get all 3 points, but they did. Next up, of course, Rovers. Next opponent, Middlesbrough. They did take care of Forest in the end. First defeat for Chris Hughton. 1-0 win in the end, and Neil Warnock doing bits as well, up to 5th now on the table. He knows how to get out of this division. Marvin Johnson on the score sheet as Middlesbrough picked up a 3-point at against Nottingham Forest. I actually went with the 2-2 draw myself. Ain't too good myself. Millwall, they lost at home to Huddersfield in the end. Actually went with a 2-0 win as well. 3-0 in the end. Huddersfield with the victors on this one. Huddersfield are also on the charge these days. Josh Comer, Pippa and Lewis O'Brien on the score sheet as Huddersfield moved up to 12th in the table. Again, Brentford on the move as well to 9th themselves after the big fat W over Luton Town. 3-0 in the end. Actually went the score draw in this one. 1-1. So shame on me once again. The only goal scorers on the day was Marcus Frost, Ivan Toney on the score sheet again. Rico Henry as well, giving Brentford the 3 points with 3 goals. Preston North End continue to fail to lose at home. 2-1 in the end to Birmingham. Big winners for them. Of course, actually went 2-1 winners the other way. Goal scorers on the day. Riley McKee and Gary Gardner giving the 3 points to Birmingham. Jaden Stockton on the score sheet for Preston as they just can't get a home win. these days. Meanwhile, QPR, again, late goal for them as they came out on top with a 3-2 win over Cardiff. Big result. I actually went with a 2-1 win for Cardiff myself, so shame on me. Ilias Chair, Todd Kane giving a 2-goal lead for QPR before Joe Rolls with a couple of goals for himself to give it 2-2. But it was a late goal by Dominic Ball to give themselves QPR the big fat 3 points at home. Actually, again, went with 2-1 win for Cardiff. Of course, Stoke did beat Rotherham 1-0, just a 1-0 in the end. Of course, James McLean on the 27th minute to give them the 3 points. I went with the 2-0 win as well. Of course, Swansea smashed Rovers 2-0 in the end. I actually remember the 2-2 myself on that one. Who was the goal scorers again? It was Ben Kambango, of course, and Andre Ayew giving Swansea the victory on that one. And of course, Wycombe won, just surprise winners them. I did see them getting a point out of it at the very least. I went with the 1-1, but it was a 1-0 win. Kudos to them. They're on the move. And it was David Wheeler scoring in the 45th minute as well. So I got myself 2, which is absolutely diabolical. But I'm not on my own. There are a few other shockeroonies out there. We'll take a look at your picks in a minute. This is the table as it stands, though. It's Reading leading the charge, 4 points at the moment over Swansea. You're breathing down their necks. So are Bournemouth, of course, Norwich, Middlesbrough, and Watford. Each one of those in those top 6 spots could end up in the top 2 spots at the end of the next match day. And also including Millwall, who are just outside it, and Stoke, not too far away. Rovers, though, all the way down 14th, but a win for them, could get back into the conversation as well. The further table on paper is Wycombe, Derby, and Nottingham Forest going down, but of course, don't forget about Sheffield Wednesday, who are also pretty much in that the poopy zone at the moment. That's me. What about you guys then? Let's take a look at how you get on last time around. Of course, recap of the criteria not to fall you in the shitface gang. 5-9 straight face club, 10+. And again, forget about these. You're in the top bins, lads. Top bins. And breathe. Here we go. Roberto Hollis, you did okay. Dennis Canelli, not too shy. Actually did shit. Iron String also did poop. Russell Frost, well done, brother. Well done indeed. Of course, did okay as well. But Nathan Heaver did ghastly. Absolutely ghastly, but it's okay. You get a bit of love from me. Yannick Buster did poop. Joachim Johansson also did ghastly. Ahmed Dukaki also did very well. Natho, he did alright. Vincent Hong did bits. Shane O'Donnell, absolutely shocking, but it's okay. He's a patron as well. Okay, didn't do okay. Nuke19 did okay. Ashley Beard did bits. I Hate Mania did absolutely poop. Mitchell Shoney did absolutely ghastly as well. Natasha A, of course, that is an AKA Miles Austin. He also did very poopy, but it's okay, brother. You're a patron, so you're in the sweet spot with me. Koenig also did ghastly, unfortunately, brother. Unfortunately, same could be said for Ultra Open. You also did ghastly. Jordan Monaghan, he did poop. It's Salter also did ghastly. Simples 906 did also shit. Dave Kelly also poop, and Shepherd also did honkin' stonkin' honkin'. We are QPR did poop. Mr. Norris did okay. Owen Amatridge, he did poop. Elmer Esquivel, the Mexican Kingpin, he did okay. He did poop actually. Ogman named Bob Warzone, he did shite. Olaji Odo, he did poo. Alex Weller did ghastly. Clarkoff, Captain Sense of Direction, he's going down. A period, aka full stop, did okay. Game of Charlie did poop. Miniaka did ghastly. And Club Skills also did poopity poop scoops. And I think that is your lot. This is your leaderboard. Give you a round of applause to your main man for this week, and this week alone. It's actually a few years. Full stop, Natho, and Roberto Hollis, all with 7 out of 12. Just over 50% for this week. But that's just this week and this week alone. But who is your kingpin? Bow down to your leader with a whopping. How many success rate? He's got a 48% success rate. It's Russell Frost, of course. Get in there, my boy. Get in there, Sonny Jim. He is kingpin right now. Bow down to Russell Frost. He is the leader, but breathing down his neck is Shepherd, though, 46% success rate as well. And Jakobsen's not too far away. And neither is Mitchell Shoney as well. Shane O'Donnell, not too far as well away either. But that, of course, is still early days. We're not even at 10 games yet, but we are just about to enter game number 10 right here and now with these bad boys. So let's get into it. Take a little look at it then, shall we? Kicking us off on Tuesday, the 3rd of November. It'll be Brentford. They're going to be hosting Swansea, of course, too. It's going to be a tough opposition, this one, of course. Brentford want to get back in the top 2 spots. Swansea already there. These two sides have played each other 34 times in the past. 12 wins for Brentford, 15 wins for Swansea, and 7 draws. The last 6, though, sees 3 wins for Brentford, 3 wins for Swansea, and no draws. Last time they played each other was in the playoffs just this past season. Of course, in lockdown, it was a 3-1 win for Brentford, of course, at Griffin Park, of no longer there now. Ollie Watkins, Emiliano Marcondes, and Brian Mbembo on the score sheet as well. Ryan Brewster, the one who goal for Swansea, as they lost. That was, of course, a playoff, of course. Heading into this, Brentford actually scored at least 2 goals in 5 of the last 6 matches in the Championship. Swansea actually undefeated in 10 of the last 11 matches away from home in the Championship as well. They're coming to this. Swansea just won defeat the past 6. That was against Huddersfield at home. Meanwhile, the same pretty good form for Brentford. Just won defeat the past 5 for them, losing to Stoke on the road. So it's going to be 2 teams in a good bit of form at the moment. Quick look at the odds then, shall we? If I can find them for you. Of course, games are coming thick and fast, left, right, and centre. But of course, these ones even Stevens for Brentford for the victory. 25 is your draw. 11-4 is your away win. Of course, that is Swansea. Of course, Brentford coming to this in 9th, and a win for them. They could go as high as 3rd in the table. Swansea, if they're victorious, Forest, they will remain second. They'll be just 1 point away from going top. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Brentford. Oh yeah, believe in it, baby. Next up, Huddersfield Town against Bristol City, of course. These two sides have played each other, according to my knowledge, 53 times in the past. 24 wins for Huddersfield, 20 wins for Bristol City, and 9 draws. Oh yes, the last 6 though sees 2 wins for Huddersfield, 4 wins for Bristol City, and no draws. Last time played each other was in Huddersfield. It was back in February, prior to lockdown, and it was a 2-1 win for Huddersfield. Chris Willock on the score sheet, Carlan Grant also getting the score sheet for Huddersfield, and Fama Diodoro on the score sheet for Bristol City as they lost. Huddersfield have actually come into this winning 5 of the last 6 home matches against Bristol City in all competitions, where Bristol City have actually failed to win their last 5 matches in the Championship. Full stop, period. That's right. Coming into this, though, absolutely horrific form for Bristol City without a win in 5. Meanwhile, Huddersfield actually just won 1 in the past 3. That was a good result for them, of course, against Millwall away from home. A quick look at the odds on this one then, shall we? 6-95 for Huddersfield, 9-4 is your 6-4 is your away win. That's Bristol City. Believe it or not, they are your favourites on this one. Bristol City coming to this in 10th for the win for them. They could go back up as high as 3rd, of course. Huddersfield coming to this in 12th for the win for them. They could go as high as 5th in the table. That's right. I believe in Huddersfield right now, more so than I do in Bristol City. I think they were a false dawn at the start of the season. That's what I'm expecting from Reading a little bit, to be honest with you. I think they're going to start to dribble down a little bit. It's just how they respond against Preston, who are shit at home, but they're not too bad away. Next up, of course, Norwich. What do we against Norwich? Norwich against Millwall, of course. These are played each other 47 times in the past. 21 wins for Norwich, 14 wins for Millwall, and 12 draws. The last 6, though, sees 5 wins for Norwich and 1 win for Millwall as well. Last time picture was down in the den. It was a 3-0 win for Norwich. That was back in March 2019. Marco Stepperman, Christopher Zimmerman, and Timo Pukki on the score sheet as they picked the 3 points away from him. Sean Williams on the score sheet for Millwall that day. However, last time picture that in Carrow Road was a 7-goal thriller. Around about this time, a couple of years ago, in fact, 4-3 in favour of Norwich. Timo Pukki with a couple of goals. Jordan Rhodes on the score sheet. Moritz Leitner on the score sheet as they took the 3 points. Meanwhile, Tom Elliott, Ryan Leonard, and Jed Wallace on the score sheet for Millwall in a 4-3 loss. Meanwhile, Norwich have actually won the last 5 home matches against Millwall in all competitions, and they've also scored at least 2 goals in the last 5 home matches against Millwall in all competition. And they're also undefeated in the last 5 matches at home. Last 5 matches, both home and away in the Championship. They're coming to us, of course, without a win, without a loss since that loss to Derby. Of course, lastminute.com. Wayne Rooney, spectacular, I think. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Millwall just won defeat the past 5. Of course, that was just the other day against Huddersfield, of course. Looking at the odds on this one, it's 11-10 on Norwich Stone Cold favourites, 5-2 is your 3-1 is your away win, of course. And that is for Millwall. Millwall coming to this down 7th, and with a win for them, they could go as high as 2nd. Meanwhile, Norwich coming to this in 4th, and win for them, they could also go as high as 2nd. Norwich have got the bit between the teeth at the moment. I think they're going to get another one here with a comfortable 3-0 win at the at Carrow Road. And right now, I believe that they could be on the way back right now. Anyway, next up, of course, Sheffield Wednesday against Bournemouth. Of course, Sheffield Wednesday needs some points. Anyway, they come into this playing Bournemouth 19 times in the past. 5 wins for Wednesday, 7 wins for Bournemouth, and 7 draws. The last 6 is 2 wins for Wednesday, 3 wins for Bournemouth, and 1 draw. Yeah, the last time they played each other was at the Vitality. It was a 2-2 draw back in 2015 in April. Jan Kuganamat on the score sheet for Bournemouth. Matt Ritchie as well, with Kieran Lee and Chris Maguire getting the goals for Sheffield Wednesday as they managed to get a point. However, last time I played at Hillsborough was back in 2014. Around about this time last year, this time 6 years ago, was Andrew Sermon and Ryan Fraser on the score sheet as Bournemouth picked up the victory with Royston Trente getting himself sent off. Heading into this, Sheffield Wednesday have actually lost their last 4 matches in the Championship. They've also failed to score the last 3 matches as well. Bournemouth are undefeated in the last 9 matches as well. They're coming to this, though, just 1 win in the past 5. Bournemouth, that was against Bristol City in the Championship. But the previous 4 and amongst that are all draws. On the flip side, 4 defeats on the spin for Sheffield Wednesday. Absolutely clueless at the moment. They need a bit of confidence heading into this. 5-2 for the victory for Sheffield Wednesday. 6-5. Bournemouth are your favourites. 21-10 is your draw. Wednesday coming to this, of course, -4 points and a win for them. They will get back to -1. Meanwhile, Bournemouth coming to this in 3rd, but a win for them. They could go as high as 2nd. Yep, can't see anything but 2-1 win for Bournemouth in the end. Of course, next up, of course, it's the Tony Mowbray Part 2 derby as Rovers take on Middlesbrough, of course. Now, these two sides played each other 135 times in the past. 59 wins for Rovers, 39 wins for Borough, and 37 draws. Oh, yes. But the last 6, though, sees 2 wins for Borough, 2 wins for Rovers, 1 win for Borough, and 3 draws, including a draw last time they played each other, which was at the Riverside back in February 2020. It was a 1-1 draw. Luke Travis on the score sheet. Doesn't score many, but he scored 1 there. Hayden Coulson on the score sheet for Middlesbrough in a 1-1 draw. Last time they played each other at Ewood was a 1-0 win. for Rovers. That was back in August 2019. Danny Graham found the penalty spot as they took care of the 3 points. Heading into this, Middlesbrough are actually undefeated in their last 8 matches in the Championship, where Blackburn Rovers are actually undefeated in 9 of the last 10 matches against Middlesbrough in all competition. We like playing mud at Middlesbrough, but can we get the 3 points? We need one, because there's only been one win in the past 6 for Rovers. All that talk of playoffs and all that shit is gone. Forget about it. Forget about it, brothers. It's all gone down the shitter at the moment. So, of course, our last victory was against Coventry, a 10-man Coventry, but all the way around that are defeats and draws. So, one win. On the flip side, Middlesbrough look very, very good, winning 3 of the past 4 games, and the other one was a draw, of course, against Cardiff. Look at the bookies' odds on this one. Probably going to go with in favour of Borough. 30-10 for Blackburn for the victory. 25 is draw. 2-1 is your favourite. It's Middlesbrough for the victory. Middlesbrough coming to us in 5th. With them, they could go 2nd. And for Rovers in 14th, we could go as high as 11th. That's how far we've fallen down the pecking order on this one. I believe that Rovers are going to do it with a 2-0 win. In the end, we need to win this one. We just need it. We may have a watch along on this one. I just don't know yet. I've got to figure things out. But that's that. Moving on forward is Cardiff. Again, we'll have extensive coverage of the game with a preview, possibly a watch along, and of course, follow it up with reviews and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, Cardiff taking on Barnsley. These two sides played each other 53 times in the past. 27 wins for Cardiff, 14 wins for Barnsley, and 12 draws. Barnsley coming to this with of course, a new manager, and he's doing very well for himself. Anyway, the last 6 between these two sides, 4 wins for Cardiff, 1 win for Barnsley, and 1 draw. Last time played each other was at Oakham. It was a 2-0 win for Cardiff. Of course, that was back in March. Before the old lockdown. Will Volks and Callum Patson on the score sheet for Cardiff. Heading into this last time played in Wales was a 3-2 win around about December 2019. It was Aidan Flint on score sheet, Danny Ward and Lee Tomlin on score sheet for Cardiff. Conor Chaplin, Lee Peltier as well on score sheet with a big for OG. Cardiff have actually won their last 4 matches against Barnsley in all competitions. They've also scored at least 2 goals in 5 of their 6 home matches against Barnsley in all competitions. But they've actually failed to win the last 5 matches in the Championship at the moment. So they're just at a bit of a rugby form at the moment. Just 1 win in the past 6 for them. That was against Preston away for them. Barnsley on the flip side, unbeaten in 5, of course, picking up 3 draws and 2 wins at the moment. So Barnsley on a right good bit of form at the moment. Anyway, look at the odds on this one: 65 for Cardiff, 12-5 is Barnsley, long shots 11-5 is your draw. Cardiff coming to this right now in 17th spot, but a win for them, they could go as high as 11th. Barnsley coming to this above them in the table in 15th in the moment, but a win for them, they could go as high as 11th. Of course, so the form is with Barnsley, but it's Cardiff at home. I'm going to go with a draw, playing it safe with a draw, 1-1 in the end. Watford against Stoke, of course, battle of the sort of big boys on this one, I guess. These two sides have played each other 36 times in the past. 14 wins for Watford, 15 wins for Stoke, and 7 draws. Oh yes, the last 6 though. Sees 1 win for Watford, 4 wins for Stoke, and 1 draw, including the draw the last time they played each other. It was back in 2018 at the Bet365, and it was a 0-0 draw. However, last time they played each other at Vicarage Road was a 1-0 win for Stoke. That's right, back in 2017 it was. Around about this time 3 years ago, Darren Fletcher on the score sheet for Stoke. In fact, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games unbeaten for Stoke against Watford. You're going to go all the way back to 2015 for Watford's last victory, and it was in Stoke. Heading into this, quick look at the odds then, shall we? This is going into Wednesday's games. I don't have the odds. Because it's Stoke. But anyway, heading into this, of course, Watford coming to this in 6th, but a win for them, they could go as high as 2nd. Stoke actually coming to this in 8th, and win for them, they could also go as high as 2nd with a big fat victory in this one. I believe in Watford on this one. I think they'll bounce back with a comfortable win, 2-0 in the end. Again, you know, I ultimately think Reading will falter. I think Watford will dribble down a little bit. Bournemouth, I think they will dribble down a bit. I've not ruled out Middlesbrough at the moment. I don't think Millwall are going to be in there. Stoke could be in there. Brentford could also be in there. So slowly but surely, we're going to start to see if the cream will rise. And if you're the cream, then you're going to be in the top 2 or in the top 6 by the end of this calendar year. Anyway, Reading up against Preston, of course. Reading, of course, coming in the back of this on the defeat against Coventry. They played Preston 39 times in the past. 17 wins for Reading, 15 wins for Preston, and just 7 draws between these two sides. The last 6, though, sees 5 wins for Reading, 1 win for Preston, and no draws. Last time played was in Deepdale. It was back in December 2019. It was a 2-0 win for Reading. John Swift on score sheet, Lucas Jow on score sheet as well. However, last time I played with Adam Majewski was around about the 19th of October 2019, and Matt Medzinga on the score sheet for Reading as they took care of the 3 points again. Last time Preston were victorious was all the way back in 2017 at Deepdale. It was a 1-0 win. Heading into this, Reading have actually kept a clean sheet in the last 4 matches at home, and they've also won those last 4 matches as well. Preston on the flip side have actually lost, have actually won the last 3 away matches in the Championship, and they've also scored at least 2 goals in the last 4 away matches as well. They're coming to this back-to-back defeats, so Preston, the last victory was, of course, away days for them against Huddersfield. Meanwhile, Coventry coming to Reading coming to just 1 defeat the past 6 at the very least, at the very most, should I say. If I want to defeat the past 9, you could probably extend that too. So they fancy their chances, of course, at home. Look at the odds on then. This one 7-5 for Reading, 21-10 for Preston. 21-10 is also your draw. Preston coming to this in 16th, but a win for them. They could go as high as 11th. Reading coming to this top of the pops, and they'll remain more than likely, yes, they will remain top of the pops no matter what goes on in this one. I believe, though, there might be a bit of a bounce back here. I think Preston will get the result and Reading will chunder yet again. Oh, my goodness. Standing by. Next up, we have Birmingham taking on Wycombe, of course. Big result for Wycombe the other day. These two sides just played each other 3 times in the past. Actually been 3 wins out of 3 for Birmingham, of course. And the last time they played each other was back in 2008. It was at the Adams Park. It was a 4-0 win in the EFL League Cup, of course, with Mehdi Nafti on the score sheet, Gary O'Connor, Cameron Jerome and Quincy Owusu Abayi on the score sheet. That was back in 2008. That was, of course, in Wycombe. However, last time I played each other at St Andrews all the way back 20-odd years ago in League Cup as well. It was a 1-0 win for Birmingham. Anyone have a guess on the scores? Anybody there? Anybody? I said you. No, you. Peter and Love. Oh, yeah, Peter and Love. Heading into this, of course, Wycombe back-to-back games unbeaten for them, picking up 4 points out of a possible 6. Meanwhile, Birmingham on the flip as well with an unbeaten run of 3 games for them. So 2 times trying to turn a corner at the moment. But Birmingham odds for them 11-8. Stone Cold favourites 4-1 is Wycombe. 5-2 is your draw. Wycombe, of course, on the rise. They're not out of the old drop zone just yet, but a win for them this week. They could go as high as 21st of the table. Birmingham are up as high as 11th now. Of course, couple of wins, couple of games in your favour, and you're on the move. And a win for them, they could go as high as 5th. Oh, yeah, believe in the Karanka. Yes, you do. I'm going to go and believe in the Karanka this week with a 2-1 win for Birmingham. Derby up against QPR this coming week, or midweek, should I say. These two sides have played each other 59 times in the past. 22 wins for Derby, 16 wins for QPR, and 20 draws, of course. Could you call this the Steve McLaren Derby? I think you could. Anyway, the last 6 this season, 2 wins for Derby, 1 win for QPR, and 3 draws. Last time I played each other was at Loftus Road. It was back in February 2020. It was a 2-1 win for QPR. Grant Hill and Ilias Chell, squishy Matt Wagon, who's on gone form right now for Derby, giving them the goal then. However, last time I played at Prey Park was back in November 2019. It was a 1-1 draw. Waghorn again on the score sheet. QPR goal coming from Eze, of course, who's no longer with the club. Derby have actually Derby have actually drawn the last 3 matches in the Championship, and QPR have actually failed to win the last 7 away matches in the Championship, of course. They're coming to this just 1 win at the past 6. QPR, same can be said for Derby, 1 win for the past 6 of them as they picked up a result against Norwich. They are unbeaten in 3 though. Derby picking up 3 draws on succession, but they're not winning games, which is what has got them screwed over at the moment. 30-10 for Derby for victory, 21-10 is your away win for QPR, and 9-4. Guess what? That's your draw, of course. QPR coming to this in 18th with a win for them. They could go as high as 11th. Derby coming to this in 22nd spot, but a win for them. They could go as high as 19th in the end. I think Derby will get this one just over the line with a 1-0 win, and finally they should be on the move. Next up, Nottingham Forest against Coventry, of course. 2 teams that still need some points. Of course, Forest losing last against Middlesbrough. Chris Hughton's first defeat. Anyway, these two sides have played each other 92 times in the past. 45 wins for Forest, 19 wins for QPR. 19 wins for Coventry, 28 draws, of course. The last 6 though sees 4 wins for Forest, 2 wins for Coventry, and no draws. Last time I played was back in 2012 at the City Ground. It was a 2-0 win for Forest. It was around about February as well. Gareth McCleary on the score sheet. Robbie Finley as well to give him Forest the 2-0 win, of course, 8 years ago. Coventry actually failed to score in the last 3 matches away from home. Forest have actually failed to win 14 of the last 15 matches in the Championship. That's actually horrific form. But of course, new manager, new bounce. 5-4 on Nottingham Forest for the victory. 30-5 is your draw. 10-3 is your away win. Coventry coming to this in 20th. Actually 2 points better off than Nottingham Forest, but a win for them. They could go as high as 14th in the table. Forest coming to this in 21st, but a win for them. They could go as high as 19th in the table. I believe in Chris Hughton. I think they'll get the result with a 2-0 win comfortably in the end. And finally on Wednesday, on the 4th of November, it'll be Rotherham up against Luton. Luton on the wane. Rotherham doing okay at the moment. But anyway, these two sides played each other 27 times in the past. 10 wins apiece and 7 draws between 2 sides. The last 6, they see 3 wins for Rotherham, 1 win for Luton, and 2 draws. Last time they played each other, believe it or not, it's all the way back in 2009. Yes, indeed. That was in the FA Cup. It was a 3-0 win at Kenilworth Road, and Luton were the victorious. Adam Newton, Alan White, and Claude Gananka on the score sheet for Luton. However, last time they played each other at Rotherham was in the FA Cup as well back in 2019. It was a replay. Of course, they played the first initial game at Rotherham, but the replay was at the 3-0 one we already talked about. It was a 2-2 draw with Adam Lafondra. What a name that is. That's a name from the past. I'm actually going to Google that one. I like Adam Lafondra. He went to Australia, I believe. He might still be playing. I don't know. Who plays as a striker for Mumbai City in the Indian Super League, on loan from Sydney FC. How old is he? He's still only 33. He's still got some goals in him, I think. He's scoring goals for Sydney FC in abundance. So yeah, kudos to him, of course, formerly of Bolton, formerly of Cardiff, of course, Rotherham, way back when. Alan Lafondra, that's the name of the day right there. Anyway, of course, that was a 2-2 draw. Heading into this, of course, Rotherham, just one win in the past 6 for them. That was against Sheffield Wednesday a couple of games back. Meanwhile, same could be said for Luton, 1 win in the past 5. Picking up a win against Sheffield Wednesday as well. Everyone's beating Sheffield Wednesday these days. You watch when we play and we all lose. Anyway, coming into this 11-8 for Rotherham for the victory. 2-1 is Luton Town. 9-4 is your draw. Of course, a win for Luton actually in 13th. They could go as high as 5th. Win for matey boys Rotherham in 19th. They could go as high as 14th in the table. I will go with on this one. A 1-1 draw in the end. I can't see it to 2 sides. Can you? Make sure you get your picks in, of course, nice and early for this match week number 10. And if I'm right, which I probably will hope so, this is what the table will look like after match number 10. Reading, 2-point lead over Norwich, who are in 2nd. Bournemouth way up to 3rd. Swansea, Watford, and Brentford up to 6th. Rovers biggest, okay, up to 14th, even with the win. Not very much movement on them. Down the foot table, Wycombe, Coventry, and Sheffield Wednesday on merit, on paper as well, going down. Again, that's my picks. Make sure you get your picks in nice and early for the Prediction League. And we'll do it all again very, very soon. Until then, though, be sure to give the video some love and smash the thumbs up, smash subscribe, of course, if you're new to the channel. And again, if you want to support the channel in another way, check out the link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas, and you can support the channel behind the scenes with a big, big smile on my face as you become the latest brother from another mother. That's it, my friends. Of course, it comes thick and fast right here. I think we have one more match day after this, before the latest international break. And then hopefully, once the latest international break comes, I'll get a bit more time on my hands and I'll get my scores in the prediction and I'll see where I really am, if I'm really up there with the big boys. Anyway, that's it for my friends. Until then, be sure you be safe out there, of course. Mask up and all that. Keep yourselves distant. Of course, lockdown is right around the corner for the UK. Over in the US, it's just a shit show itself. I don't even want to talk about it. Anyway, I'll speak to you all very soon. Stay safe, mask up, 6 feet. I'll see you all very, very soon.